All right, you guys wanted it, so here it is. You ready for this?
Oh, yeah, this is going to be good.
A deep dive on one of the craziest T20 wins ever?
Maybe?
Ah,
Maybe.
well, okay. One of the craziest recent wins. New Zealand over Sri Lanka.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, it's not just the win itself, but the way it happened, the players involved. Like, it's got everything a cricket fan could ask for.
It really does, doesn't it? Drama, comebacks, unlikely heroes, and a final scoreline that, let's be honest, nobody saw coming.
Okay, so before we get into all the nitty-gritty, just to set the scene for everyone, we're talking about the second T20I between Sri Lanka and New Zealand, played at Dambulla. And on paper, Sri Lanka was the clear favorite.
Home turf, experience side.
Exactly. But New Zealand, they had other plans. They pulled off a win for the record books, defending a total of, wait for it, 108 runs.
108. Can you believe it?
That's practically an open invitation in T20 cricket.
Yeah, you'd think so, right?
Yeah.
It's the lowest total they've ever defended in T20.
So right off the bat, we're talking history in the making. But how did they do it? Where do we even begin?
Well, I think we got to start with Lockie Ferguson.
Right, the man of the hour, or at least the man of the first couple of overs.
And what overs they were. Talk about a comeback. The guy's coming off an injury, a hamstring, I think, but you wouldn't know it.
No, not at all. He comes out guns blazing, like a man possessed.
A hat trick. Can you believe it? 3 wickets in 3 consecutive balls.
3 wickets in 3 balls in his first 2 overs. I mean, it's just unheard of, especially at this level of the game.
Sri Lanka's top-order batsman, gone, just like that. It was absolute carnage. And you know what adds to the drama?
What's that?
He ends up having to leave the field later on. Another injury, this time a calf.
Talk about a day of highs and lows. But okay, before we get too caught up in the Ferguson show, let's rewind a bit. How did New Zealand even reach 108? I mean, they were struggling at 52 for 6 at one point. That's not exactly a recipe for a winning total.
No, not ideal. Definitely not ideal. But you got to give them credit. They dug deep.
Yeah, they did.
Will Young, he played a really crucial knock. 30 runs, holding things together when everyone else was falling apart.
Yeah, he was the anchor.
Exactly, the glue that kept them from completely unraveling. Then you had Mitchell Santner chipping in with a valuable 19. And then Josh Clarkson, Mr. Boom Boom himself, he came in and did what he does best, a quick-fire 24 towards the end.
Giving them something, anything to bowl at.
Exactly, a total they could at least try to defend.
But still, 108 runs. Against a team like Sri Lanka on their home ground. You got to figure they're feeling pretty confident at this point.
Well, they had Wanindu Hasaranga.
Oh, yeah, right? Sri Lanka's spin wizard, he was on fire that day.
4 wickets he took, and get this, he was playing with a leg injury.
Wow, no kidding. I mean, he's known for his, unorthodox deliveries.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. He was mixing it up beautifully. Googlies, leg breaks, top spin. He had the New Zealand batsmen completely bamboozled. They had no idea what was coming next.
It's incredible, really, the level of skill and determination you need to perform at that level, especially while injured.
No doubt. You wonder what he could have done if he was at 100%.
Right. Like, could he have single-handedly bowled them to victory? We'll never know.
It's one of those what-ifs, that's for sure. But while Hasaranga's putting on this masterclass, on the other side, you have Glenn Phillips having a bit of a nightmare with the bat.
Oh, yeah, he didn't have the best outing, did he?
4 runs off 9 balls, that's all he could manage.
Ouch, that's gotta sting. Especially if it's such a crucial match.
Yeah, not the kind of performance you want to remember.
So how on earth did New Zealand manage to pull off this win? I mean, they had a low total to defend. Sri Lanka had Hasaranga weaving his magic. It just doesn't add up.
Well, this is where the story takes a turn that nobody could have predicted.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat.
The hero of this match, the guy who snatches victory from the jaws of defeat, it's Glenn Phillips.
Wait, what? The guy who practically got a duck.
The one and only. Remember how Lockie Ferguson had to leave the field with that calf injury? Well, going into the final over, New Zealand needed 8 runs to defend, and they decided to throw the ball to Glenn Phillips.
You're kidding me. The guy who is practically a liability with the bat? Why would they take that risk?
Desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess.
But it worked.
It worked. He delivers the over of his life. 3 wickets in the final over, including Pathum Nissanka, Sri Lanka's top scorer with 52 runs.
Hold on, stop. You're telling me the guy who could barely get a run turns into a depth bowling superstar? That's the kind of stuff you see in movies, not in real life.
I know, it's insane. But that's T20 cricket for you, always full of surprises.
So what was his secret weapon? Did you just get lucky, or was there more to it?
Luck might have played a small part, sure, but this was more about skill, execution, and nerves of steel. He used a mix of deliveries, varying his pace, bowling those pinpoint Yorkers, and even threw in a slower off break with extra topspin for the final wicket. It was a masterclass in how to bowl under pressure.
He completely outsmarted the Sri Lankan batsman.
Yeah, they had no answer for him. It was like a switch flipped, and he transformed into a completely different player.
From potential flop to the hero of the hour, all in the space of an over.
Talk about a redemption arc.
Okay. This match is already one for the ages. We've got Ferguson's fiery spell, Phillips' clutch bowling, a nail-biting finish. But before we move on, I got to know, how did those last two deliveries play out? It must have been incredibly tense.
Oh, it was absolutely edge-of-your-seat stuff. Sri Lanka needed 2 runs off the last 2 balls, with Mahesh Theekshana on strike, a guy known for hitting big sixes.
Yeah, not someone you want facing you with the game on the line.
Exactly. But Phillips, he keeps his cool, bowls a slow off break, tempts Theekshana into a big shot, and gets him. Top edge, straight up in the air, and Mitchell Hay, New Zealand's wicketkeeper, takes a fantastic catch to seal the victory.
Man, what a way to end the match. You can just imagine the eruption of cheers from the New Zealand camp and the stunned silence from the Sri Lankan side.
It was like something out of a movie script.
And they say Test cricket is the real test of a team's character.
Well, this match proved that T20 cricket can be just as dramatic, just as unpredictable, and just as capable of producing moments of pure sporting brilliance.
It's a reminder that in this format, anything is possible.
Absolutely. It's a game of inches, momentum swings, and on this particular day, a whole lot of heart from the New Zealand side. And you know what's amazing about this win? It's not just a fluke, a one-off thing.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. New Zealand cricket, they've been on a roll lately across different formats.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The women's team winning the T20 World Cup a few weeks ago. The men's test team just whitewashed India in India.
Talk about a power couple. It really does feel like a golden era for New Zealand cricket.
It does, doesn't it? They're consistently punching above their weight, proving they can compete with the best in the world.
And to think, it all started with defending a paltry 108 runs. You mentioned earlier that only 2 other full-member teams have failed to chase down such a low total in T20s.
Yeah, it's incredibly rare, especially at the international level. Zimbabwe failing to chase Namibia's total last year, and then the West Indies falling short against, ironically, Zimbabwe back in 2010.
So this really puts New Zealand's victory into perspective. It's not just a win. It's a historic feat.
Absolutely. A testament to their skill, their determination, and their ability to adapt to even the most challenging situations.
It's funny, isn't it? Because people often think of T20 cricket as a batsman's game. It's all about hitting sixes, scoring fast runs.
Yeah, you think boundaries, big skulls.
Exactly. But this match showed us that there's so much more to it than just brute force.
It was a masterclass in tactical bowling, smart fielding, and mental toughness. New Zealand showed that you don't need a mountain of runs to win a T20 match. If you bowl with discipline, field like your life depends on it, and stay calm under pressure, you can defend even the most modest of totals.
It's like a chess match on a cricket field. Every decision, every move matters.
Exactly. And I think this match might force some teams to rethink their strategies, especially when it comes to defending low scores.
So we might see more emphasis on variations in bowling, clever field placements, building pressure on the batsman.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's all about adapting to the situation, finding ways to outsmart your opponent.
And speaking of outsmarting the opponent, we have to give credit to Glenn Phillips again. I mean, the guy barely made an impact with the bat, but then he comes back and bowls like that in the final over. Incredible.
It really shows the value of having versatile players in T20 cricket, guys who can contribute in multiple ways. Phillips may not have had the best day with the bat, but he stepped up when his team needed him the most, and he did it with the ball.
It's a reminder that a player's worth isn't just measured in runs or wickets. It's about their impact on the game, their ability to adapt to different situations, their willingness to do whatever it takes to help their team win.
Absolutely. And this New Zealand team, they embody that spirit. They have a fighting spirit, a belief in their abilities, and a willingness to back each other up no matter what.
So we've talked about the match itself, the players, the drama, the historical significance of this victory. But I think what's really fascinating about this deep dive is what it tells us about the future of T20 cricket.
Now that's where it gets really interesting.
Right. I mean, for so long, T20 cricket has been seen as a batsman's game, a format where the team with the biggest hitters usually wins.
Yep. Boundaries galore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But New Zealand showed us that it doesn't always have to be that way.
They proved that tactical bowling, smart field placements, mental fortitude can be just as important, if not more so, than just blasting sixes every other ball.
So will we see a shift in strategies in the future? Will teams start focusing more on building pressure, taking wickets, rather than just going all-out attack?
It's definitely something to watch out for. If teams start adopting a more nuanced approach to T20 cricket, focusing on both attack and defense, it could really change the dynamics of the game.
It could make it even more unpredictable, even more exciting to watch. It's amazing, isn't it, how a match with such a low score could spark such a big conversation about the future of the game.
It just shows you sports always have a way of challenging what we think we know.
Yeah, for sure. You think you've got it all figured out, and then bam, something like this happens and throws everything you thought you knew out the window.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so exciting, so unpredictable.
This whole deep dive has been a wild ride, hasn't it?
Yeah.
A historic upset, incredible individual performances, and now we're talking about the very future of T20 cricket.
We've gone from a seemingly straightforward match analysis to existential questions about the direction of the sport.
And it's all thanks to New Zealand defending 108 runs.
Who would have thought?
Not me, that's for sure. But seriously, folks listening in, what do you think? What does this win tell us about T20 cricket? Can low-scoring matches be just as exciting, just as unpredictable as the high-scoring slugfests we're used to?
Yeah, what do you think? Is this a sign of things to come? Or just a blip on the radar?
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Drop us a comment, send us an email, whatever your preferred method of communication. Let's keep this conversation going.
But one thing's for sure, this match has left its mark on cricket history.
No doubt about it. It's a reminder that even in a sport increasingly dominated by data and analytics, the human element, the passion, the grit, the ability to rise to the occasion when it matters most, that's what truly makes a difference.
So whether you're a diehard cricket fan or just a casual observer, we hope this deep dive has given you a new appreciation for the beauty, the complexity, and the sheer unpredictability of this amazing sport.
And remember, the world of cricket, just like life itself, is full of surprises. Embrace the unexpected, learn from the past, and never stop striving for excellence on and off the field.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the fascinating world around you.